We go to language. So let's talk about that area, the median class. So I had it at school. I was sitting with a guy in class, and we were going to mathematics. He's at Harvard. The guy is intelligent. The teacher is trying to teach him something in Dutch about mathematics. So you have to try. And I noticed this when I went to the higher at UNA, where my class was in English.
In Curacao.
In Curacao. And so he's sitting there, and the guy is the teacher's trying to explain to him, blah, blah, blah. So the teacher gets frustrated because he doesn't understand. So the class finishes. The teacher got pissed at him, and you know what the hell, he was stupid or something, whatever. So he got out of class, and I walk up to him and say, what do you understand? He said, I don't understand what the guy is talking about. I don't understand what. So I explained to him in Papiamentu, but he meant this, and you do that, and but why didn't he say that?
Boom, he got it.
Why didn't he say that? So if I would start talking to you right now, in Chinese or in Spanish, actually something about your business that you already know about, you would maybe catch half of it because you're so deep into the business that you know some things, but maybe you'll miss just the nuance needed, which could mean everything.
Yeah.
But why are we doing that to a populace? Why? And the whole pretext, we're a small community. Listen, small, big, everything is relative. You want to say that Dutch was a huge community when they started giving classes in Dutch. It was 3 million, 2 million back in the day when you had countries with 40, 50. What are you talking about?
German, yeah.
So why didn't they do German? No, why? Because they made a stance, say no, our populace has to understand. So we want to pretend that all sciences and
but was it also to protect the culture and the identity of the community? And
protect,
is that important?
Actually, not even protect yet.
Promote?
To promote. Why? They were under Spanish rule.
Yeah. So they wanted
that everything was in Latin, and they had to hold. So it was a religious revolution, and also a cultural revolution. So listen, we are not Spanish. We're Dutch.
Yeah.
So it's not German.
Yeah.
It's not Spanish.
Yeah.
We're Dutch.
Yeah.
And even now, the Dutch will tell you, no, we're Dutch. That's Vlaams.
Yeah.
But that's Vlaams also.
Yeah.
So even the same language, but from Belgium, they call it Vlaams. But but we're not allowed to have our own identity.
The same privilege.
So exactly, our privilege. Actually, if the Spanish king would tell them what they're trying to tell us now,
good luck.
They wouldn't have. They wouldn't have exactly, and they wouldn't have in their hymn saying the Spanish king, I always honored you.
Yeah.
No, I killed you, man.
You try to take my identity.
Exactly. So if we follow back to that,
but what you're essentially saying is, look, we have a unique and distinct identity that is
what defines identity.
Yeah. It's the culture, the language, the history, the shared
values. How do I notice the difference between an Englishman and an American?
Yeah.
Well, tell me.
The history of the people.
If I have two people in front of me, how would I know one is English and one is American?
Accent
and use of words.
Sure.
Language.
Yeah.
Because culturally, for the rest, music, it's very similar. They all do the pop. That convolves, but the way they use the language, the same language, but the way they use it, that's one way you can make a distinction.
You can even within the Antilles, you can in Curacao, Aruba, you can do that. In Dutch also. If you can from Limburg to up to Friesland.
But that's the whole thing, and in America also, Texas, but in general, because English is also a borrowed language from the English that the Americans use. One of the primary distinction of culture between the English, the British, and
the Yankees,
is language. So language is an integral part of identity.
Surely.
Who are you?
Sure.
How do you think?
Sure.
You feel. You and it's your main way of conveying and transferring emotion.
Sure. And also preserving that sense of unique identity, the authenticity of a community.
But let's go back to the empowerment. So, if you you're trying in a way of other, taking away a community's way of expressing itself.
Mm.
If you're taking away a primary instrument for a community to transfer information and knowledge, or to gather and gain knowledge, and to
share it among its
populace, what are you doing to that community?
Yeah.
First of all, you're lowering its potential.
Yeah.
You're limiting it.
Yeah.
Second of all,
making
you're creating a time bomb.
Yeah.
Because if you take away people's form of expressing that they don't feel understood or heard, it will not take that long and that community
to
erupt. Hence, the British, when they conquered India, in the government you had to speak English, but they never even attempted to take away the Punjabi and let people not speak their own languages, because that rule would have stopped right away. They tried to do it with the salt, and even that was the so the point is, history has proven that if you try to go too far, and some communities they succeeded, but that wasn't that much that they did it that way. But the Inca and the Maya.
I was about to say that the Spanish were. the Spanish were successful in making Spanish the language of.
True, but the Spanish intermingled. If you look at all Spanish communities and the Portuguese communities,
there's a different
way
of sort of. A different colonial experience.
Different way of colonizing.
Yeah, the French
Spanish
also
and the Portuguese
had a different view than the English or the Spanish,
especially
or the French or the Dutch.
If you look at the Spanish and the Portuguese, if you look at Brazil, the greatest part of the populace, huge part of the populace, is mixed race. There is not so much pure, straight out of, almost you feel like a straight out of Africa race. The Spanish is also greatest part mixed race. The Dutch didn't really mix with the populace, with some exceptions here and there. That the plantation owner borrowed a female slave, or some of these exceptions of the chief gezagheber, or the son of. The Dutch didn't have a mixed population. Even worse, the Dutch didn't even allow them to use their religion. The Dutch kept Protestant, and the populace was allowed to be Catholic, but they were not allowed to become Protestant. So they really segregated the community, and the British, in certain terms, also. You still have segregation, not legally, but you still have. And even sometimes it baffles me to hear those discussions in other places that some people want the segregated community. I'm not a proponent nor against. Government should never step into anybody's bedroom and do what the hell you want, and live your life in your household. Government should just focus on the common goods for everybody, regardless of race or whatever.
So on the education thing, I think it's clear that the philosophy that you have has an influence in the policy that the party may have with respect to the importance of Papiamentu in education, and going back a little bit chronologically in terms of how you got